I personally, I have 3 types of contracts. I have a 3-month plan, I have a 6-month plan, and I have a 12-month plan. In those, we evaluate every step of the way to determine, is it necessary for us to keep moving forward, or do we pull back, or do we readjust? Whether that's me taking on the editing, whether that's me just shooting for them. Now, I will tell you also, when it comes to having a systemized monthly plan offering, it's also recognizing how are you going to be able to manage that client? Because now you're managing that client as a business partner and not just as a shooter. And so you recognize, one, do you have enough availability in your schedule, the flexibility to be able to pop up and shoot with them maybe once a month, twice a month? Understanding what those offerings are is super important, because as you're doing that, that client is also being able to look at their schedule to say, this is what I can do and what I can't do. Working with that client is so important in understanding what their business needs, because some clients, for example, if you're working with a wedding planner, you really can't work with them on the weekends. Why? Because they're working on the weekends. So you got to have that availability during the weekdays. Also, you may be looking at someone such as as a contractor that builds houses or does repairs. Well, the reality is you may need to be in the field doing their content versus being in studio. So you have to understand what, when, where, and how you're going to be working with them on a regular basis to be able to determine that. That's so important to understand what your offerings are going to look like and knowing how you're scaling that.